Greetings, and welcome to this episode in the series of videos on Lidar with ArcGIS Pro. This series is brought to you by AmericaView in partnership with the College of Natural Resources and Environment at Virginia Tech, the Virginia Cooperative Extension, and GeoTed UAS. I'm Cherie Aukland, and I'll be your guide. Chapter 10 introduced the 2D map project template and the 3D scene project template for adding last tiles. In that chapter, multiple tiles were added to a map project and displayed as separate data files, each one with its own unique stretched values. In this chapter, we'll demonstrate how to create one dataset from multiple LiDAR tiles. Begin with the North Dakota project that was created in Chapter 10 using the local scene 3D template and these 9 LiDAR tiles. We'll create a last dataset from Catalog View. Locate the project's file folder, right-click it, choose New, Last Dataset. Let's rename it to ND_James_River, and just hit Enter. Now let's look at the properties of this new container that we've just created. Right now, the dataset is empty, so no information is available. Opening last files, we see Add Files. This is where we'll add data to the dataset. So go ahead and choose Add Files and navigate to the North Dakota James River tiles. Select all of the last tiles for North Dakota. You can just shift-click them and then select Open. Here you see all these files are populated now in the dialog box. We can view the statistics for a single last file by clicking the ellipsis at the end of the row. In this General tab is the metadata for this individual tile. No information appears under the other tabs. Yet. Open Statistics over here on the left side. It's empty because statistics have not yet been calculated on all 9 of these tiles. Select the Calculate button at the bottom to start the calculation process. Here you now see the statistical information for all 9 tiles. You can see how many points are classified as ground or low vegetation, or how many are not assigned to any classification category. We'll talk more about classification in a subsequent chapter. Let's go to Coordinate System. The coordinate system information has been incorporated from the individual tiles. Be sure you have checked the metadata for all tiles after your download. If you try to combine tiles with different coordinate systems, you'll get an error. Let's finish creating the new last dataset now by clicking OK. And let's ensure we actually have data in our dataset. Right-click, go to Properties, and now we see the data is there. All of the tiles are now combined. Now let's add the dataset to the scene. Go ahead and right-click it and add it to the scene. Let's go back to the scene. The new combined dataset, along with the original individual tiles, are in the scene. Uncheck the new dataset. The individual tiles have their own stretched values and are easily distinguished. But the new last dataset symbology is stretched over the entire range of values for all 9 tiles and appears much different. Let's go ahead and remove all of these individual tiles. Now let's zoom in a little so we can see this new combined James River last dataset. Be sure to save your project every so often. Let's expand the symbology for this new last dataset. And let's look at its properties. Go to Last Filter. The classification information here will be important in subsequent chapters. Another way you can create a last dataset is to use a geoprocessing tool. Close this window, and let's reopen the Mesa County project. Go to Analysis and click on Tools to open the geoprocessing dialog box. Let's search for Create Last Dataset and select the tool. Now for input files, I'm just going to click on this folder and I'm going to navigate to the Mesa County, Colorado LiDAR tiles. In this case, I have added a folder to my project for my data download, so it makes it a little easy to find. I'm going to add all three of these tiles, shift-clicking them, and I'm going to name the output last data set Mesa County. Be sure to check Compute Statistics, so that's done automatically for you, and store relative paths. Leave all other inputs blank and go ahead and run the tool. This time the new last dataset appears and is automatically added to the scene and contents. Let's remove all the individual tiles and then we'll go ahead and zoom in to the new last dataset so we can see it. Let's check the properties for the new dataset. Metadata has been incorporated into the combined file from the individual files. Go ahead and close this window. For practice, and before beginning the next chapter, open a new local scene project, or add a new local scene to this project, and create a new last dataset for the San Luis Valley tiles that were downloaded in Chapter 9. Choose your method, either using Catalog or the geoprocessing tool, which is my favorite, and add it to the scene. Here's the resulting San Luis Valley LiDAR dataset. Be sure to review the properties for the dataset, including last filter, to view the classification codes. And as always, save your project. This concludes this chapter on combining tiles into a last dataset. Next chapters will review how to add tiles to an existing dataset, change the display settings, and change the percentage of the point cloud that displays automatically when zooming in and out.